So a little bit of background on me. This is me in 1973 in a dressing room, tuning up with a band called McKendree Spring, about to open for the Eagles. I was on the road for 3 years, did 3 albums with this band, moved to New York. This is me at CBGB's playing my Steinberger bass, fronting my trio. Did a lot of gigs. I ended up in the jingle business in New York to get off the road. I played bass and sang on the first Kit Kat jingle. Give me a break. Oh, give me a break. Yeah, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. And then got tired of the jingle business and taught myself to be a web producer. And much to my surprise, was hired by IBM. And I worked there for 15 years, first in corporate internet programs, but then in a bunch of different roles, including a couple of stints at corporate headquarters. This is me when Watson crushed the reigning grand champions. I was in corporate citizenship. We ran a day-long seminar on how Watson, this kind of AI instantiation, might drive the civic and social agenda, right? During my tenure at IBM, I did a TEDx talk. It's online if you want to look at it, talking about my multiple careers and working at IBM using social media. Did it at the Times Center in New York. I've been doing freelance consulting and writing and speaking. I left IBM about 8 years ago, each hired, as they say in big blue parlance. This is me at Caltech in their robotics lab. I gave a series of workshops on the future of Fintech for their executive ed program. And, one of the processes was talking about where Fintech is going. The client was State Street Global Advisors. And then germane to this conversation, why I'm here is I'm, again, the Master of Ceremonies for Inside Quantum Technology. This is a screen grab of me at the event in New York in early November. I also host a podcast called Quantum Tech Pod, where I interview C-suite execs at major quantum computing companies. Just spoke to Michael Bierkuck a couple of weeks ago. Really interesting conversation. Among other things, he described an initiative that he's involved in. He just won a project from the Australian government called the Moon to Mars Supply Chain Initiative. So we could talk more about that, but that's a pretty exciting, futuristic endeavor that they're about to undertake. So that's me.